Right, guys, it's time to get to work, and a job I've been putting off for a while. I'm in front with my YouTube videos, so let's get this sort of biggish woodworking job out the way. So, as you see in my workshop, I've got like mess just everywhere, and it's a small enough workshop as it is. So, I need to get rid of the mess, and I need to make that wall there, the brick wall behind everything, more accessible. That wall there belongs to the neighbour next door. This is a detached house, but they're really close together, and I can't do anything with that wall whatsoever, and it's ugly to look at. So I'm going to build a sort of false, I don't know whether you'd call it a floating wall. I don't know if that's the right term. I'm just going to use it out of, and make it out of wood. So that's the area nice and clear now. And you might think you're reducing a bit of space, but if you just watch to the end of the video, I actually make myself a bit more space. So I'm coming back to this Mousy S50 tool to measure everything out, put it through its paces. You've seen from a previous video, this was one of the jobs that I said I was going to do and tackle. So this is the first one, and it's giving me a readout there. So let's put this tool to the test as I'm doing the video. You can see there the green beam hitting the wall. So the timber I'm using for this is 4x2 treated timber and 6x1 rough sawn treated timber. Not that it's going to get wet under there, but there is, because of the gap at the side of the house, there's a little gap. You know, you do get a bit of water coming down, a little bit of rainfall coming down. So I just thought I'd use this timber. It's very, very minimal, but this'll be fine. I could just use untreated timber. It's that sort of, irrelevant really, but there you go. So let's see how level that is. And that'll do me. Now, I did go over this with a normal level just to make sure that this tool was functioning correctly and how it should, and it was. And that's telling me that's level, and I was super accurate on the length of this beam. So I'm just shooting it straight up in the air now to sort of hit the top section, which will give me another reading of what I need to cut. And I'm taking it nice and easy. So I'm using some workout tools here. I can't wait to New Year to get the front of this house sorted out. The front of the house, the driveway, it'll make a massive difference. It's been an ongoing job, like just jobs constantly, one after the other with the house. So you can see the gap there, and I'm pinning these supports onto the two side walls here. And I'm using concrete screws. Now, I've watched loads of videos on this, and it's really strong, makes it really secure. So I'm just going through with where I've marked on the brick, made sure I got going into brick, and I marked it onto the wood, and I'm just going through with some pilot holes. So I'm just trimming up now just to get my size right. What I didn't account for is I'm going to have a beam running across the top. So I'm going through the wood now and drilling a pilot hole into the brick. The screws are them screws, concrete screws, and they grip onto the brick inside, sort of thing. Now, I'm no expert. There's various ways of doing this. I've seen loads of videos, and again, nice and level, got it nice and level. And I'm just shooting across now because there'll be a beam of wood going right across the top there. And that's it done, and I've put some supports in just to help it. Now, I ran out of the pressure treated timber, but I had some 4x2, but they'll be fine. So I'm just putting some, are they called cross braces? I don't know the right term for them, but I'm just putting them across now. Now, if it was normal construction, I think you'd use 600 centres, whatever. But because this is not going to have any power behind it, no services, nothing like that. It's not load bearing as such. It didn't really matter. I think they work out about 800 centimeters, 800 centers. I think I can't remember off the top of my head. So I'm just making sure everything's level. And again, the mousy tool made it was spot on accurate. So far so good with this tool. And again, just going back, checking its level, which it is. You can see there where it goes off and then centers itself when it's level. And it's level enough for me, that. Now, stupid me is drilling in there when I could have just went in from the ends. But you live and learn, don't you? So that's the sort of wall up, if that makes sense. The frame. So I'm using now the 6x1 treated timber. And I'm just simply cutting these to size. So I'm just making sure my first one is super accurate, making sure it's really level, everything's straight as it should be. Now what I've got to do here, what you probably don't see on the camera, is the floor in here is all over the place. It's got dips and troughs and it's just horrible. And it's part of the jobs it's going to be doing when the drive's getting done early next year. So there's nothing I can really do with the flooring. So I've got to cut these to make sure it's sort of nice and neat along the floor best as I can. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And it's a case of just working your way along now. And the screws I'm using for it, decking screws, just simple decking screws, got them from the screw shop. There's a link in the description down below. I'm not sponsored by them in any way. They're just a family-run business in the UK. And, you know, the screws are fantastic. The Rhino and the Turbo Quick. Really good screws, but the decking screws, I used them on all the outside things I did. The log store, the bin shed, the fence, and, you know, can't fault them. And the prices are good too. So again, more exercise for me. And you just sort of use anything you can to, you know, because when you're in a small workshop and you've got everything sort of all over the place, you just use what you can. I'm just using 2 stools there to sort of obviously put these on and then to use them to cut them like sawhorses type thing. So again, I'm just marking up. And again, just making sure all that waste goes in a bucket. Now, one tip is, guys, this is treated timber, so don't go putting it on your log burners or anything. Apparently it's dangerous. I don't know if that's right or not, but, you know, this is what I've been told. So that'll all get took to a tip and disposed of carefully. So the benefits of this wall is I can hang stuff on it. I'll be able to put stuff on the wall. I will stop the draft that comes down from the, you know, the gap. Sometimes you get a real bad draft coming down. That seems to happen more in spring for some reason. I haven't got a clue why. But you still get it in winter. But you do get sort of some sort of rainfall that comes down there every now and again, depending on which way the rain's sort of falling. So there's it's up for now. Just a few little tweaks to do to it. So what do you think of that? And I'm just going across the top now, just simply screwing the top sections in. I just thought I'd do that at the end. Just, you know, I did the middle section, bottom section, which held it, and then I thought I'll get it all in and then go along the top. which doesn't take long at all. Just nice and easy. Just be safe on ladders. I'm not one for climbing, trust me. So that's it, sort of more or less done that. Now it's just a bit of reorganisation and try to make best use of the space. So I thought I'd use this as a good opportunity to rejig things about a bit and make myself a bit more space and a good clear up. Make things a bit... Isn't it surprising what you find when you're moving stuff around? A frying pan. And there was just stuff everywhere in a small space. I just couldn't believe how much crap and dirt there was everywhere. So everything gets a good vacuum everywhere. It just builds up and it, you know, really bad. So at first thought, I thought I would put some of these magnetic strips here. I was just playing about with ideas on the wall, and as it goes on, this will evolve. Things will change. You know, you do things for the first time, you think, yeah, that's right, and then obviously it doesn't work, and you move them about and change things about. More screws from the screw shop here. Again, I'm just using them. So I'm just putting some power here. I may change this to somewhere else at some point, but just for now, I'll just put it here. And I've got like a partial liking to these magnetic strips. So one thing now is I can put my saw right up against that wall. And I'm just making sure, you know, I'm doing this to make sure the table really is level. If that's level, I know the table's level. And this is where my table saw is going to sit. The miter saw over the other end. And it'll sit there, but this is not going to be its permanent place, I don't think. Since doing the video, I've used it here, and it doesn't sort of work really well there, so I'm going to have to find a different solution. Here he is, Stanley, looking for the Amazon man. So that's enough for now on it, but everything's got a place. Wood over there. The wood will be moving. I've got a storage rack on the other side I just need to sort out, and the lengths of wood will go up on that. So that'll give me a bit more space over there, maybe for me vacuum cleaner. I can use that wall there, and up there is where the wood will go. I just need to quickly just rejig that. It can be used for storage, that kind of thing. But everything has its place, so it's easy to get to stuff now. I know it makes it look stupid, tape measures there. You know, there's always tape measures everywhere. But everything will get changed round as I'm working the area. You'll find that out as you do that. So, I think I deserve a beer. Well, an alcohol-free one anyway. Cheers, guys, and thanks for watching.